Emma sat quietly on her balcony, the warm evening breeze brushing against her skin. He gazed at the bustling town below, where laughter and chatter floated up like distant echoes. Was a world she once thrived in a vibrant community, before Kyle turned it into a stage for his cruel performances. First met Kyle, he seemed perfect, charming, witty, and captivating. Our early days were filled with joy and adventure, but slowly his true nature began to emerge. First, it was subtle, a playful jab here or a teasing remark there that left her feeling off balance. Over time, Kyle's words became sharper and more frequent. Social gatherings, he would make snide comments disguised as jokes about Emma's appearance or choices. Each laugh from their friends felt like another dagger to her heart. With each barb thrown publicly, Emma felt smaller and more insignificant. Despite being hurt by his behavior, she clung to hope that things would change after all. He could be so charming when it suited him. At behind closed doors, when no one was watching, the weight of his manipulation pressed down on her spirit. A laughter that once filled their home now echoed hollowly. Amantha often visited during these times of despair. She was Emma's light in the darkness, threatening to envelop her entirely. They would sit together on that same balcony, or stroll through local parks while Samantha listened patiently to Emma's struggles. "You deserve someone who lifts you up," Samantha reminded her gently but firmly. Despite these heart-to-heart conversations providing brief reprieve from emotional turmoil, Emma couldn't shake the mounting sense of helplessness each day, brought forth compounded by memories of happier times before Kyle's charm morphed into something toxic. As weeks dragged on under Kyle's oppressive presence, Emma desperately tried reclaiming pieces of herself lost amidst the chaos he created, but found herself dwindling beneath it all. Yet even in this haze of confusion and self-doubt, a flicker remained within her soul, an ember waiting for just the right moment to ignite into flames. If only she could find it among those ashes left behind by Kyle's cruelty. He knew every jab he took fueled a fire within her. Justice would soon find its way back into her life. A local community event where friends gathered for fun and connection. Everything changed for Emma. The humiliation she endured reached its breaking point when Kyle revealed embarrassing secrets disguised as jokes meant for entertainment. After erupted around them while Emma stood frozen in isolation and shame, this moment shattered any remaining illusion that things might get better between them. Afterward, crushed yet determined not to stay silent any longer, Samantha comforted Emma, fiercely encouraging her to take back control over her life rather than let Kyle dictate it any longer. Fueled by anger and newfound strength coursing through her veins alongside determination growing clearer by the minute, Emma devised a plan for retribution during an upcoming community festival, an event titled True Colors. Samantha's help organizing this massive public showcase, designed to illuminate personal stories of betrayal across various townsfolk's experiences, the message rang loud. Manipulation wouldn't prevail unchallenged anymore. Word spread quickly about True Colors, piquing interest among residents, including Liam, a mutual friend caught in between their conflict who decided using his platform as a local influencer could help promote what promised to be an extraordinary gathering aimed at exposing deceitful behavior cloaked behind charm, like Kyle's own facade. On festival day itself came excitement tinged with nerves as attendees shared heartfelt stories emphasizing resilience, despite adversity, all anonymously submitted accounts. Highlighting manipulation rooted deep within their lives, underscored many referring directly or indirectly back towards Kyle's behavior toward others, including Emma herself, when connections emerged revealing how these tales intertwined. With him throughout sharing session, it became evident everyone listening saw precisely what kind of person he'd been beneath that polished exterior, following True Colors. Social ostracism loomed large over Kyle. Former friends distanced themselves upon realizing they had been blind eyewitnesses, enabling toxic traits harboring inside him for too long. Meanwhile, the community rallied around Emma, who gained newfound respect not just for orchestrating such powerful exposure, but also standing tall against mistreatment she'd faced herself. Empowered by triumph reclaiming narrative lost amidst betrayal, she began collaborating with local organizations focused on mental health awareness, advocating recovery from emotional abuse, echoing sentiments. True growth can blossom even after facing darkest storms. The story concludes with glimpses into bright futures ahead. Potential while showcasing how deeply pain transformed purpose through resilience, igniting fires once dimmed under shadows cast by cruelty endured along life's journey. Title: Ex-partner humiliated me. I turned the tables. Chapter 1. Introduction. The struggles, Emma reflects on her turbulent relationship with Kyle. First, his charm drew her in, captivating everyone around them. Time passed. His true nature emerged. He began undermining Emma publicly with snide remarks at social gatherings. Each belittling comment chipped away at her self-esteem and left her feeling worthless. Despite this emotional toll, she fought to maintain normalcy in her life with the support of her best friend, Samantha. Memories of happier times flickered in her mind like distant stars, while she longed for a way to reclaim her confidence. 2. The final straw, the local community event felt charged with laughter and camaraderie as friends gathered to celebrate together. Emma hoped for a brief escape from the shadows that hung over her, since Kyle had started controlling their interactions. However, when he appeared charming as ever, her heart sank. As games progressed, Kyle seized an opportunity for twisted amusement. Everyone? Remember Emma's childhood obsession with those silly dolls, he announced, sending ripples of laughter through the crowd. With each embarrassing story he recounted about her past, Emma felt herself shrink under their ridicule until it became unbearable. At night marked a breaking point. Humiliation engulfed her completely. In the cool night air, after escaping the painful spectacle, Samantha joined Emma and wrapped an arm around her shoulders in silent solidarity. "I can't believe he did that," she said softly. Emma could barely speak but managed to whisper shakily about how different tonight felt compared to before, a moment that ignited flames of anger within her. About handling it anymore, Samantha insisted fiercely. "You deserve so much better than this." Those words struck a chord deep inside Emma. She realized it was time to take back control over her life from someone who thrived on manipulation. "I'm going to make him pay for this," she declared firmly. With newfound clarity washing over them both like fresh rain after a drought, they began brainstorming ideas that would reclaim what had been stripped away from Emma: dignity and respect within their community. Chapter 3: Revenge. With Samantha's unwavering support by her side, Emma orchestrated a public event titled True Colors, designed to expose betrayal and resilience throughout their community. Learned of their plans through mutual friends, he eagerly offered his platform as a local influencer to promote the event widely. On the day of True Colors, attendees shared personal experiences about manipulation and dishonesty, anonymously submitted through stories highlighting moments similar to those inflicted upon Emma by Kyle, and others too who'd faced his cruelty firsthand were encouraged to join in sharing their narratives. These tales unfolded one by one during the event, many subtly pointing toward Kyle's toxic behavior. The audience began connecting dots between the stories in him, without realizing just how tightly woven they were into his fabric of deceitful charm. Patience finally came crashing down like thunderclaps against silence. It was clear. Kyle's facade shattered before all eyes, witnessing his true nature being laid bare under unforgiving lights where truths came alive again amidst Addo's long-feared forgotten. Chapter 4: Aftermath. Following True Colors, ostracization swiftly followed suit for Kyle. Former friends distanced themselves when they recognized they'd been blind to his toxic ways, including mistreatment directed towards Emma herself throughout their relationship now unveiled openly before them all. In contrast, the community rallied around Emma. She gained newfound respect not only for organizing such an impactful event, but also for standing up against years spent silenced by tormentors like Kyle lurking around every corner ready pounce once again. Given half a chance, empowered by reclaiming narrative ownership over pain endured, the next chapter opened up brighter than previous ones, filled with promise. Ahead, a collaboration sprouted between local organizations focusing on mental health awareness, addressing recovery from emotional abuse, revealing strength born out of vulnerability transformed into purpose, leading onward towards brighter horizons. Idle, ex-partner humiliated me. I turned the tables. Emma sat quietly on her balcony, the warm evening breeze brushing against her skin. He gazed at the bustling town below, where laughter and chatter floated up like distant echoes. Was a world she once thrived in before Kyle turned it into a stage for his cruel performances. First met Kyle, he seemed perfect, charming, witty, captivating. Our early days were filled with joy and adventure. But slowly, his true nature began to emerge. Initially subtle jabs disguised as jokes left her feeling off balance. Over time, Kyle's words became sharper and more frequent, snide comments about Emma's appearance or choices stung during social gatherings. With each laugh from their friends, she felt smaller and more insignificant. Despite being hurt by his behavior, she clung to hope that things would change after all. He could be so charming when it suited him. At behind closed doors, when no one was watching, the weight of his manipulation pressed down on her spirit. A laughter that once filled their home now echoed hollowly. Amantha often visited during these dark times. She was Emma's light in the shadows, threatening to engulf her entirely. They would sit together or stroll through local parks while Samantha listened patiently to Emma's struggles. "You deserve someone who lifts you up," Samantha reminded her gently but firmly. As weeks dragged on under Kyle's oppressive presence, Emma struggled to reclaim pieces of herself lost amidst the chaos he created. Even in this haze of confusion and self-doubt, an ember remained within her soul, waiting for just the right moment to ignite into flames. If only she could find it among those ashes left behind by Kyle's cruelty. Everything changed for Emma at a local community event, where friends gathered for fun and connection. The humiliation she endured reached its breaking point when Kyle revealed embarrassing secrets disguised as jokes meant for entertainment. After erupted around them while Emma stood frozen in isolation and shame, this moment shattered any remaining illusion that things might get better between them. Afterward, crushed yet determined not to stay silent any longer, Samantha comforted Emma, fiercely encouraging her to take back control over her life rather than let Kyle dictate it any longer. Fueled by anger and newfound strength coursing through her veins, Emma devised a plan for retribution during an upcoming community festival, an event titled True Colors. Samantha's help organizing this massive public showcase, designed to illuminate personal stories of betrayal across various townsfolk's experiences, the message rang loud. Manipulation wouldn't prevail unchallenged anymore. Word spread quickly about True Colors, piquing interest among residents, including Liam, a mutual friend caught in between their conflict who decided using his platform as a local influencer could help promote what promised to be an extraordinary gathering aimed at exposing deceitful behavior cloaked behind charm, like Kyle's own facade. As the day of the event dawned, palpable energy pulsed through the community. Emma stood at her planning table, surrounded by colorful banners reflecting not just her vision, but also collective stories of those who had suffered in silence. Nervous anticipation filled her heart as townsfolk trickled in, some curious, others supportive, all united by an unspoken understanding of resilience. Amantha hovered nearby, adjusting decorations and checking in with volunteers. "You've got this, Emma," she whispered with a reassuring smile that sparked hope within Emma's chest. People settled into their seats under the open sky. Liam stepped up to welcome everyone, passionately discussing community support and recognizing toxic behavior in relationships. His words resonated deeply among audience members, who nodded knowingly, many aware of Kyle's charm, but blind to its darker edges. Finally came time for unveiling stories meant to unravel Kyle's facade. The first storyteller shared themes of betrayal and strength, echoing experiences from various participants that made laughter turn into murmurs of recognition. People began seeing parallels between these narratives and their own encounters with deceit. Then came a particularly poignant story recounted by someone who had suffered under Kyle's manipulative grip. Painful truths about how his charisma masked cruelty started surfacing like dark shadows creeping into daylight. Asps rippled through the crowd as names were mentioned subtly, yet unmistakably. Faces twisted from curiosity to shock as connections solidified. Emma felt a surge within her as each voice rose higher than before. The gravity of long-held secrets wove a tapestry revealing Kyle's true nature while freeing others from burdens too. What once felt like isolation transformed into solidarity, a chorus against oppression, accepting humiliation no longer. The moment arrived when attendees realized they were not alone anymore. Shared vulnerability emerged, empowerment, all leading back towards Kyle himself, as stories interlinked throughout this powerful sharing session. His carefully maintained image unraveled thread by thread, until nothing remained but raw honesty laid bare for all eyes witness. Clear how many lives he had touched with toxicity. The whispers among neighbors grew louder. How could we have missed this? Emma's heart swelled with pride, knowing justice was emerging like dawn chasing away night's shadows. True Colors reached its climax. Kyle entered unknowingly amidst innocent conversations, only finding cold faces turning toward him upon hearing another heartbreaking account referencing his actions directly. It didn't take long before realization washed over him. Many who once adored him now looked on disapprovingly. He was no longer charming, but exposed for what he truly was. Coward hiding behind charisma. That pivotal moment, vulnerability transformed into strength. It became evident karma unveiled itself, elegantly deserving respect. Even anger morphed compassionately towards those caught unaware during journeys alongside someone so deceptive. Once again, empowered by communal unity surrounding struggles transformed Emma completely. The shame dissipated, replaced instead by admiration flowing freely throughout gathered friends and neighbors alike. She reveled in newfound respect birthed from courageously standing tall against mistreatment, endured far too long previously silenced beneath layers crafted carefully around beautifully spun lies. As darkness lifted altogether, it illuminated possibilities ahead, shimmering brightly, inviting fresh starts, beckoning forth promises, painted vividly against horizons stretching endlessly onward. Title: Ex-partner humiliated me. I turned the tables. Chapter 1. Introduction. The struggles. Emma sat quietly on her balcony, reflecting on her relationship with Kyle. First, his charm captivated everyone around them. But as time passed, his true nature emerged. He began to undermine Emma publicly. Snide remarks disguised as jokes about her appearance and choices left her feeling small and worthless. Each laugh from their friends felt like a dagger to her heart. Despite this emotional toll, she clung to hope that things would change. Amantha, her best friend, often visited during these dark times and reminded her of her worth. Yet Emma struggled to reclaim the confidence that had slowly faded away under Kyle's manipulation. Chapter 2. A final straw. At a local community event where laughter and camaraderie filled the air, everything changed for Emma when Kyle publicly humiliated her by revealing embarrassing secrets as if they were jokes meant for entertainment. A crowd erupted in laughter at Emma's expense while she stood frozen in shame. This moment shattered any illusion that things might improve between them. Afterward, crushed yet determined not to remain silent any longer, Samantha comforted Emma fiercely and encouraged her to take back control over her life. For Retribution, a plan formed in flames of anger, ignited by humiliation. Chapter 3. Revenge. With Samantha's unwavering support, Emma organized a public event titled True Colors, aimed at exposing betrayal within their community. Liam learned about their plans and eagerly offered his platform as a local influencer to promote it widely. The day of True Colors, attendees shared anonymous stories of manipulation and deceit, many referencing Kyle's toxic behavior toward others along with his treatment of Emma herself. Connections emerged linking these tales back to him during the event. The truth shone bright under unforgiving lights, revealing his deceitful nature before all eyes. Chapter 4. Aftermath. Following True Colors, social ostracization loomed large over Kyle. Former friends distanced themselves upon realizing how blind they had been to his toxic behavior, including mistreatment directed toward Emma throughout their relationship, now openly unveiled before them all. In contrast, the community rallied around Emma. She gained newfound respect for orchestrating such an impactful event and standing up against years spent silenced by tormentors like Kyle, lurking around every corner ready to pounce once again if given half a chance. Empowered by reclaiming narrative ownership over pain endured, Emma collaborated with local organizations focused on mental health awareness, addressing recovery from emotional abuse, revealing strength born out of vulnerability transformed into purpose, leading onward towards brighter horizons filled with possibilities.